Yeah, morning guys. Yeah, bet you're wondering why that hood's off and this thing is looking like that. So yeah, there's a good explanation for that. We were hauling grain Friday. This is Monday, so we were hauling grain Friday, and we got called out. Steven and I did, because my brother was hanging out with me, because a hose blew on the radiator. So we went out, fixed it, and he got back and he kept saying that the engine was overheating still. So we pulled it in here. That was Thursday. We pulled it in here Friday, and we tore it down to get to the water pump, which is right here now, because we thought the water pump was bad. So we got a new water pump, putting in a new radiator. Boss man Dave's gone to go look for a new radiator. So that's what we're up to. That was all Monday, and now it's oh, excuse me. Now it is I'm sorry. That was all Friday. Now it's Monday. We can't work on this anymore, so I'm moving on to the combine, because we need to get that done and finished up, because my summer's getting quite busy. So we worked on it a little bit. We put in a new steering pump. This one was leaking pretty good, so we put in a new steering pump, and then we put in we had a front windshield break, so put in a new windshield in, replaced the pump. This wasn't all done last week. It was done over a period of winter, but so we got all of that taken care of. Now I'm putting all the panels back on. We put new LED lights up top. I'm putting the windshield wiper blades back on, which have proven to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. Had to look up a few things. So that's what we're doing now. So yeah, pretty much gonna be working out there all day. Not a whole lot has to be done, but there still is a good amount of stuff. So all right, so out in the combine shop. Oh, you saw that? Yeah. That's a project. That's my my 64.5 Mustang. I'm just gonna get it rebuilt at some point. You'll probably see it on here too, but we'll find out. Anyway, so new glass, new steering motor right up underneath. Put that valance cover on around. New lights. Putting the wiper back on. So that is what we're doing today. That is an auger that goes in the corn head back there. We've got a reverser right there that needs to go in the front over here. A few parts that need to go in the actual combine itself, but not a whole lot, I don't think. If I remember right, it's pretty good. I hear at some point, I don't know if we're gonna trade combines off or if we're gonna do this. I'm kind of hoping we trade, but we'll see. That the rotor inside, the bullet rotor, which for the farmers that know what that is, they'll understand. I'll explain it someday maybe. But anyway, so there's a big rotor in the side here that kind of goes up like this, and it's what the corn comes into there, or the beans and the product that you're cutting comes in there, and it goes around and it smashes and knocks everything out, and then you have shakers and sieves and all sorts of stuff. But so that rotor's got a top to it that is wearing down. That metal's getting really thin because it's just had, this is a 2001 or 2000 combine. So it's a 9650 STS. It's an older combine. It's a really nice one, but still, it's quite old. So it's worn out, and we've been welding on a few pieces, patching it, and I'm just afraid I'm gonna have to redo it, which means you gotta take like the entire thing off, and I don't want to do that. So we will see. Hopefully I don't have to do that. Hopefully we can just, I don't know. We've talked about trading for about 3 years now, and we just always come back and use this one because the price is just cheaper. So this is paid for, so we don't have to worry about it. Anyway, so I'm gonna get up there. I had to look up on the John Deere website on how to fix this. So, or how to put it all together. So I got that figured out. Now I'm gonna go up there, put it all together, and hopefully it'll work. I've got to put a steering motor in there, and then, yeah, because we were having trouble with GPS on Dave's tractor, so we switched steering motors. I may wait though, because he may want to do something different there. I don't know, we'll see. And then I got it where the GPS receiver goes on top. Here, I'll show you. This is something I made like 4 years ago, and it's just time to update it. So that's what I made. Receiver sits right up on top here. I had to make that extension plate out of just some diamond plate metal because it wouldn't fit on where it is now like it's supposed to. It's just supposed to bolt on up there to the bottom piece. But the globe was too big, and this one's going to be as well. So that was just a cheap fix that I made many years ago, and it's time to fix it. So we're going to fabricate something to make that look better. So, but yeah. So should be fine. There it is. Holding you way up there. You can't see me either. All right. 1 second. Phone. Okay, I'm back. Short phone call. Anyway, so we got all that on. It's all good to go. Now we can do like 5 other things. I'm not sure. Mow the grass. I could try to put a reverser that weighs like 200, 300 pounds in by myself. Or I could, yeah, I don't know. I don't think anything besides mowing is, it will be good. But, so yeah, all of this it's all back in. It's nice shiny glass. Trying to think of anything else I could do. We've got a pole. No, we can't do that. We'll do that later. Yeah, I think I'm stuck to mowing grass or something. So, not much, but yeah. Oh, no, I can work on, that's what I was gonna do. I knew I had something else. I'm gonna build that. That's what I was gonna do. I knew I had something else that I was gonna do. Oh, brain. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna go back to the other shop, and we're gonna go try to build a custom rack for that thing. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. That makes me feel better. I was like thinking I lost it there for a second, but okay. Well, we'll see you back in the other shop. All right, well, I think what I'm gonna do is just bend some, I've got some wrought iron that I think, here, let me grab it. Got some of this. It's from a separate project where I built some gate panels for Carl. So, but I think this would be plenty strong enough where I could like do something like that and bend it around and make it look a little bit more professional, maybe a little snazzy, as they say. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I haven't quite figured it out, but we're gonna get there. So let's put tools away and then we can figure that out. there it is. Looks pretty good, really. No, yeah. So I'm gonna take it off and paint it, obviously, but sun's coming out, it's bright. I'm holding it this way, but yeah. So just looks a lot sleeker, newer, nicer. So, and it's quite strong. And I put bolts on here so I can, if this plate is wrong, because I can't remember if it goes this way or the other way, I can flip it around. So that's really it. Fantastic. I'm gonna get off of here because now I'm sweating like crazy. It's warmed up. It's supposed to get in the 90s this week, so it is hot. But I'm gonna get off of here, get a drink, and we'll see what we're gonna do next. So, but that's all done. In the combine shop with the combine. So we put the reverser in also. So much space. Took stuff out of here. So a little hard to see. This is the reverser. We put this in right before we went home last night. So this is for those that don't quite understand what the reverser is. So this runs the whole, this and this is the PTO shaft where the corn head or bean head goes on. So it runs this, and typically it's running forward, or it runs whatever direction that is. It pulls stuff back in there. And sometimes, especially in wet conditions, this will get clogged up and stuck. So we need it to go backwards. So there's a button up in the cab, or a lever that you hit with your foot, and it comes down to a cable underneath here, and it spins this backwards, which spins everything else backwards, kicking everything out. Works really good, except for we had this redone a year and a half ago, and whoever did it at John Deere didn't do it right, and so it did not work. So we just had it redone, and it's all good to go now. So thank goodness. But it's back in there. We've got to tighten bolts down, put cables there, belts, hydraulic hoses, the whole works. And then that's on that side. And then on this side, we've got, this is where this would also be, if you had like a bigger corn head, you have 2 drive shafts on each side. So this one we've got to put, where is it? There it is. We've got to put a bearing in, which this one, it's broken if you can see it right there. So we've got to put that one in, and then the next one, then we just have like sensor there, and the chain, and another sprocket, just all sorts of other stuff to fit on there. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning. So we're going to be, first thing, we're going to take this bearing over to the other shop, and it just spins out. It's a little interesting, but it just spins out. So we're going to go do that, and then we'll be back. So here we go. Do I try to push it out from, you got that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just
My toe out of the way.
quick maneuver there.
I had my toe hit over to you before.
So cool.
You could.
Alright, cool. That was easy. we got it. It's all in there, looks good. So nice and shiny. So, all right, so now we're gonna put all this on there and be good to go. So. Well, good morning. It is another day in the shop. It poured down rain last night. From about 3:30 until about 6. It poured down rain. I don't know how much we got, but it was a lot. Wind was blowing sideways. It was crazy. Anyway, so, but since you guys were last with us, it's been 2 days. So, yeah, well, yeah, technically this is the start of the second day. Yesterday we went and got new parts for the combine, and then we worked on the grain truck because that's just more important. So we got the water pump back in, most of the parts put on it, except for the radiator that we got was wrong, so we had to take that back and exchange it, and now it's going to be about a week before we can finish that up. So we're back on the combine, and you last saw me take all of these pieces out, all of those pieces on the floor, and so that's what we're going to be working on today. All these teeth are worn out on here. Let me show you. Let me flip you around. These are the teeth, and all of them, we flipped them once, and now we got to flip them again. Or we flipped them once and wore one side out, then we flipped them again and we wore the other side out. And so we're going to be replacing all of these teeth and a couple of these rails. Like this one hit a rock and got bent, and there's a few other that are bent. So, and this all goes up in there. So you have the feeder house, which is this part right here, and the corner beam comes in from the corner beam head, gets sucked into this thing. There's a huge chain right there. It's a huge chain that grabs everything, pulls it into here, and then this is called, what we're taking apart is called the feed accelerator. It grabs everything and throws it back into the rotor, which you can kind of see it back up in there just a little bit. So that's what we're fixing, that because sometimes, like that one spot that I showed you, a rock got in through the head, came up this, hit the feed accelerator and broke that. And I know when that happened, I felt that sitting in the combine. So that's what we're doing. It's just going to get everything away from the head as fast as possible and into the combine. We were having a lot of trouble with stuff plugging up on the head, so we're going to try to get everything away from that to make it better. And here's a sneak peek of something we're going to be doing here shortly. This auger right here, yeah, that's getting replaced. So that's going to be, this is a 6-row head and corn head, and it's a 2014 model, I think. Anyway, but this is all getting replaced. So well, not this, that. So that and a couple snouts, all of this deck plating and everything was done 2 years ago, so it's still good. But yeah, so we were having a lot of trouble with this not bringing the product back in, so we're going to be doing that, and it should be fun. I've never done that. I feel like it's going to be tearing the whole entire head down to get to it, but it's cheaper to do that than buy a new corn head, so really don't want to do that right now. But so we're going to do this morning for a little bit, and then yeah, we're just going to be hanging out for a while. So yeah. All right, well, I'll talk to you in a little bit. But I think before we, hey look, something's coming out, fantastic. But before we start tearing into more stuff, bleh, I'm gonna do something my mom never thought I was capable of doing, or she only dreamed about, is I'm gonna clean. Yeah, I'm gonna clean this up just a little bit. So yeah, so if Mom, you're watching, I should be proud. Anyway, all right, we'll see you in a second. Okie dokie. All right, so it's all clean, everything's good. These are all good. Those 3 are bad, that's why they're up there. So, and that's why we have these. So we're going to be adding 3 new ones and replacing all the teeth on this one, which the teeth are up over there. There's like, there'd be 30 of them, I guess, would be the total amount. So yeah, we gotta do that and keep on going. So, but that's just maintenance. We just did, this is like a ever revolving door on this beast. He eats a lot of parts. So, but it's been a good combine. So, knock on wood. Anyway, so 9/16. Trying to put a few things away as well, so that way not everything, all the tools are out. So we've got mostly new bolts for all this stuff. We'll just find some good bolts. Set these over here. We got new wiper blades for the new windshield. Can't have old wiper blades on a new windshield. So, and yeah, you actually do use wiper blades. It's usually not for rain, it's for dust. So, because it gets, in beans especially, it gets really dusty, so you have to turn them on so you can actually see what you're doing again. So, all right, well, I'm gonna go grab the other parts, and then we're just gonna do one at a time and knock the way through. So I don't think I'm gonna be putting them back in today, but you guys get the gist. You saw how I took it apart, so it goes back to the same. There are lefts and rights, so I don't know which one is which at this moment, but hey, let me flip you around. We'll go to the new ones. So here are the new ones. The distinct feature of them is these, which if these are lefts or rights, I'm not sure. We're gonna call them lefts. They have this hole. Rights have no hole. So that's a distinct feature. Okay, it's done. Pretty much anyway. We have a few things we gotta finish up, but it is, for the most part, done. So, not bad. Let me flip you around and I'll show you a little bit. Alrighty, there it is. So, right there you can tell where the lefts and rights are. So all that is that there's one over here, one there, and the next one there's one over there. It's not one there. So they're just offset all the way across. So that's all you have to make sure of when you're putting them in. But the thing went very well. It's just kind of a struggle. They weigh probably, I don't know, it's heavy. It's probably like 50 pounds per one, and there's 10 of them. And maybe not that much, maybe 30, 40 pounds. Anyway, if you combine the whole weight, that's a lot. But it is very heavy, and once you get that momentum rolling, that's what helps everything. So yeah, you can kind of see what I was saying earlier, where it brings the product up, that slings it back into the roller, or into the bullet rotor, and moves from there. So, alrighty, well, I think that's done. I can put this cover back on, and then we'll probably be done. So for right now, I mean, we got a few other things could do. Most of this is clean, so not much we have to do here as of right now. We haven't done a full inspection of it yet, but we'll find out. So, all right, well, I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you had fun watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. So, see ya.